It's time for you to be de-influenced. And not only you, but also me. I have been asking you guys for the last couple of weeks, what are some super popular items that you feel like you need to be de-influenced from? Like you're looking at them, you're seeing the Instagram ads, and you're thinking to yourself, I really want this, but I know there's probably a reason I don't need it. And the truth is you probably don't need it. So I have taken some of my most popular requests of things that you guys asked you want to be de-influenced from, and we're gonna go through each one. First, if you're new here, my name is Crystalline, but you can call me Chris, and we chat all things mind, body, and planet on this corner of the internet, so I hope you stick around. The viral e.l.f. Halo Glow turned into lip gloss. I just finished my e.l.f. Halo Glow and I actually got a couple of comments of people saying, oh, you should do the lip gloss with it. I was like, you know what? Let me see what this lip gloss trend thing is. And let me just tell you, ridiculous, redonkulous. You don't need that. Who needs that much lip gloss in one container, okay? The e.l.f. Halo Glow lasted me half of a year, and that was using it pretty consistently, like almost every single day of the week. Anytime I wore makeup, that was the product I was using. So imagine how much lip gloss would fit in there and how long it's gonna take you to use up that much lip gloss. Not to mention, e.l.f. doesn't have its own version of lip gloss that's in that sort of container. People are taking their extra lip glosses and squeezing them into the e.l.f. Halo Glow container and then making a lip gloss concoction, essentially, of all the lip glosses that they have done before. I know it looks fun. It feels like you're making a little potion, being a little witchy, but I gotta tell you, you're not actually gonna use that lip gloss. 90% of the time, when you're throwing all of these like different chemical mixtures of lip glosses into one container and then you're mixing that around, sure, maybe it's fun for the first like bit that you have it, but then you're gonna be like, oh man, I wish I didn't put my Summer Fridays $25 lip gloss mixed in with my Carmex and my Burt's Bees that I squeezed in here, because now the smell is weird and wonky, the color is completely off, and you don't like using it. So that is me de-influencing you on the viral e.l.f. Halo Glow turned lip gloss. You don't need it. There's no reason for you to go out and go buy an e.l.f. Halo Glow or try to dump it down or use it up really fast and be really wasteful with it just to make this viral lip gloss trend happening right now. It's just not worth it, okay? Just use the lip glosses that you have. No need to go like buy like a bunch just to fill up. Okay, on that note, makeup in general. Social media is notorious for like showing us like a bunch of different cool little makeup things that are like up and coming. But I just want to remind you that if you already have 2, 3, 4, 10 blushes, then you don't need to go out and go buy the new Rare Beauty blush that just launched. Finish the ones you have and then reward yourself with trying a new one from Rare Beauty. The problem that we have specifically with makeup and honestly skincare, beauty products in general is that we end up hoarding them because we buy a bunch, we want to try them, we try them once, maybe we like it, maybe we don't like it, we move on to the next thing, we never actually finish what we originally purchased. I've been doing Project Pan and you would be so surprised how long it actually takes to use up some of the products that you find yourself constantly repurchasing. Like for me, I would get like the itch and get like a new eyeshadow palette. I don't even wear eyeshadow, guys. What's the point of spending $30 on a new eyeshadow palette if I'm not even gonna use it? Makeup expires, knowledge doesn't. So let that be your sign when you're looking at your makeup bag, maybe you're getting the itch to buy something new. Focus on learning a new technique with the makeup you already have. It's super common that once you learn a routine, you just kind of stick into that same habit of doing your makeup the same way every single time you do it. But how fun would it be if we pushed ourselves to actually learn some different habits? check out a few different makeup artists and see how they recommend doing makeup. Maybe you apply your concealer in a different way than you normally do, or contour, or maybe you try to use up your eyeshadow palettes that you've been collecting dust and hanging out in your closet for a while, and try to learn a couple of new techniques, because makeup does expire, okay? So even if you go out and you buy the new stuff, but if you don't use it in the time that it's going to expire, you just kind of wasted money on that. So you might as well just focus on the things you already have and maybe use a new technique in applying that makeup. You get something that feels new even though it's something you already had. Another thing you guys asked to be de-influenced from were fancy pots and pans. And I'm talking about the ones that we see on Instagram being promoted by big influencers all the time. So I don't know about you, but I always see the Always pan and the Caraway pans. They are beautiful. They are stunning. They are aesthetic. A lot of big influencers, food influencers, are constantly cooking in them. What's not to love about something that looks so sleek and so gorgeous like these pans? Well, I hate to break it to you, but these are ceramic coated pots and pans, and while they may be marketed to you as non-toxic and non-stick, so you kind of get the non-stick without the toxic chemicals, they do chip, they do scratch, and they inevitably will not last you a lifetime. So my recommendation is, if you are on the market for pots and pans, go stainless steel. They're easy to clean, a little bit harder to learn how to cook with at first, but once you get the hang of it, they're totally worth it. And if you aren't actively looking for pots and pans, then just use what you already have. Again, there is no need to go buy a bunch of things that are gonna clutter your shelves just so you can donate things that work perfectly fine for someone else to use because you just got bored and lonely and you wanted to buy some new pots and pans to keep you company. You don't need them, okay? They are beautiful, I get it. I understand the appeal, but they're not gonna last a lifetime. For the most part, I've heard people talk about like the Caraway pans, if you buy a lighter color, that when you cook on them super frequently, which if you're a chef or a cook or you enjoy being in the kitchen, then you're gonna cook on them frequently. Well, the color of the pot or the pan will start to like change. Like it gets dirty and there's really no way to clean it. So unless you're somebody who, like, I don't know, doesn't really cook, likes the aesthetics, but you know, doesn't ever cook ever, then maybe that is good for you. But if you're a real person who actually uses your pots and pans, they're not worth it. Okay, you don't need new pots and pans. You know what I got a lot of people requesting to be de-influenced from? Books. I get it. I understand. I'm a book lover myself. It's really easy to get caught up. Go to a little bookshop, get you a little coffee, read all the blurbs on the back of the book, see what's trending, check out all the new books that are coming out. Especially if you're a reader, I know the pain. I know the pain of always wanting a new book. And then if you read frequently, it's not like one book will satisfy you for a couple of months. It's like one book will maybe satisfy you for like a week, if that. Some of us, you get a good book and you're done with it in like 2 days. But I am here to tell you, you don't need a new book. You don't need to buy a brand new book from Barnes & Noble or from a bookshop or buy it online from Amazon. You don't need it. And the reason why you don't need another book, the public library. I have to tell you, we need to start using our public libraries. I feel like they are so underappreciated. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was in college, I never wanted to go to the library. It felt like a place that was quiet and boring. Anybody was just studying there. I can't study in silence. It drives me crazy. So you would never find me in a library. But now that I'm older, the public library is where it's at because they have any book that you could possibly imagine. They buy the new books once they come out and they will order additional books based on demand. So if a new book comes out and a lot of people are interested in it, they put it on their like hold list or they're waiting in line for a book, that library will take note of that and they will order more. So that way you can get your book faster. And then the best part is when you finish the book, you just return it back to the library. So you don't have to like find a place for the book to live on your shelves. I know that some of us, just calling out little devil on the shoulder, like to collect books, okay? And I think that's really cool. I love a library book. I'm currently redoing the shelves behind me, so eventually you will see some of the books that I have been holding onto and collecting for a while. So my advice to you is, instead of just buying the book whenever it comes out, why don't you rent it from the library, or maybe get the ebook version of it so that way you can read it. And if you really love the book, if you rate it 5 stars on Goodreads or Storycrafts, then maybe that's your sign that you can buy the book to keep on your bookshelf. And then when you buy it on your bookshelf, you can loan it out to friends that say they're interested in reading the book as well. And then it's like your own little personal library for all of your 5-star reads. Because it's much better to like have a personal collection of books that you absolutely adore and love and recommend for people to read, rather than buying books, realize you don't even want to finish it, you didn't like it enough, or it's just like a mid-tier book for you to kind of be hogging space on your personal shelves. Just make it a 5-star library. So there you go, de-influenced. Next up, shampoos and conditioners. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in skincare and body wash into this as well, because what I'm gonna say holds true for all of these things. There's always going to be something new coming out. There's always going to be something better that's going to be released. So if you're constantly feeling like you are falling into the trap of marketing, essentially, and you're buying all these products and feel like, wow, I have 4 different shampoos, how the heck am I ever going to use these up? And you're continually just buying more and more shampoos on top of the ones you already have. You're just creating clutter and you're wasting money because you already have perfectly good product. The new product is going to be there when you finish the original product you already have. So there's no need to just get excited and buy a bunch of stuff when you haven't finished what you already have. And then in that time where you are waiting on finishing the products you already have, you can do some research, so you're not just willy-nilly buying something random when you go to the store next. Speaking of research, I have to plug my sustainable or greenwashing database. I have been doing sustainable or greenwashing research probably since 2020 or 2021 at this point. It's about time that they all live in one area, and that is now a database that I have created. In the database, I have over 50 brands that have been fully researched, vetted by me. I provide my reasoning on why I say it's sustainable or why I say it's greenwashing, and you can also check out all of my recommendations for alternatives to the products that maybe I think are not as sustainable as they're saying they are. So if that is of interest to you, I will link that below so you can check out that research there, and next time you go shopping, you can buy something that is more sustainable than other products out there that are leaning towards greenwashing. Next up on the de-influencing trend, candles. Let's be honest with each other, okay? Most of the time we buy candles because the exterior of the candle looks pretty, we never actually end up using them. Or maybe the smell doesn't smell as good whenever you light it. So if you find yourself being a candle collector, but also a candle duster because you're constantly wiping the dust off of the candles laying around your house, then let this be my challenge to you. Light a couple candles. Start a little routine, start a little regimen where you light a candle at the end of the day to signal the end of a work day. Maybe light a candle as you're making dinner to set a little ambiance for whenever you're finished. And if you are somebody who is a chronic candler, you always are buying candles, but then you have all these jars afterwards, you have no idea what to do with the jars after, this is my sign for you to not buy a new candle from Anthropologie or Home Goods and instead make a candle. Do you know how easy it is to make a candle? You literally just buy the beads, wax the beads, you melt the beads, and then you can put in whatever scent you want into the wax and make your own candle that way. It's so simple, it's really affordable, and even if you don't want to go through the mess of making your own candle, there are brands, specifically the one I'm thinking about is Everly Candles. They make refill kits for candles in a bunch of different scents. They're all non-toxic. They're made with a blend, I believe, of soy and coconut wax, so they burn clean. And then you have candles that refill the jars that you bought because you thought the jar was pretty to begin with. The moral of this story, as far as candles go, is you don't need a new candle. Reuse the jars you already have to make homemade candles. Oh, another option for refillable candles. I know, sorry, this is about buying candles a little bit, but I just feel like I need to shout out this brand, is Arbor Made Candles. So what they have is a refillable candle brand. It's incredible. I have 3 different candle jars made by them in my house, but they make a vessel that is just a pretty like simple, really minimal, sleek looking candle jar, but it's silicone at the bottom. them. So you can buy their candle refills, which are just the wax. They come in like this cardboard box with the wax, and then you put it in, and then whenever the candle is at the bottom and it's been burned out, you just push up on the silicone, and then you have like the little candles, little slivers left. I normally use the slivers in my candle warmer because they still have great scent, but the wick is just gone at that point. And then you can refill the candles that way. So you're not just collecting a bunch of jars, you have the same couple of jars and you just replace the scents. Moral of the story, you don't need more candle jars. There are other options, ladies and men. Last but not least, crafting supplies. And I'm looking at you. You gotta stop buying crafting supplies. How many times have you bought things, trinkety things, crafting things from the store, and you buy them and you're like, yes, this is going to be my personality for the next 6 months, and you only end up doing it once, and then the rest of it collects dust? How many times does that happen? Because if you're anything like me, it happens more often than not. I'm a cozy hobby girl at heart. I love trying new things. So it's really easy for me to get caught up and like go and like buy a bunch of crafting supplies for one really niche thing that I want to do. Whether that is coloring supplies, air dry clay, the polymer clay, jewelry making, candle making. I have a couple of ideas that can potentially help with your crafting consumption. Option 1, have a dedicated space where it's all your crafting supplies, and tell yourself you cannot go outside of that dedicated space. So for example, you could have a bin in a shelf, or you could have a basket or something, container, storage bin, whatever works for you. And your thought would be, if there is a crafting hobby that you want to just randomly pick up one day, think to yourself, is it going to fit in my dedicated spot? If there's already too much stuff in that spot, sorry girl, you're not buying it. You gotta focus on the crafts that you already have. Use up those things so you can make room for a new hobby to come in. That way you're actually getting the experience and your money's worth of the products that you already have. See a theme happening here? Using what you already have is better than buying something new. So use up the rest of your air dry clay. Make the rest of the friendship bracelets that you bought for your Eras Tour concert tickets 2 years ago at this point. And then when you're done with that, save them and gift them to your friends, your family, your neighbors. So that way you're not just holding on to all these little crafts. You have a reason to make them to bring joy to somebody else. Then again, once you have that space, you have more room to bring in a new crafting hobby. Number 2, now this is a little bit more focused on my cozy gamers out there, or anybody who's really into games and feels like, oh, well, they're not taking up a bunch of physical space, so they're just like a chronic buyer of video games. Let me tell you, you don't need the next game. The thing you can kind of do for yourself here is whatever games you currently own, make sure you get to the end of the game before you buy a new one. That's been my rule, and it's worked pretty well for me. Of course, I have like a wish list of games that I want to buy, but my goal before I buy those is to finish the games that I've already purchased and I've already spent my money on. I am talking go from the beginning of the storyline all the way through the end of the storyline. I'm talking do all the side quests, try all the hairstyles, change your character's clothes as many times as you can, and then once you have completely finished the entire game, that is when you buy the next game. How's that sound? Pretty easy. Not that bad. I mean, really, you're just focusing on the game that you already have and getting the most joy and most experience out of that before buying something new. Okay, what did you think? Did I de-influence you? Let me know in the comments. And also, while you're in the comments, let me know if there's something else you feel like you need a little de-influencing from, because I would happily make a part 2 to this. I really think there are so many things out there that are constantly pulling our attention and pulling us to like buy and consume, when in reality, we don't need half of it. Probably we don't need 80% of what we're seeing online. And 80% is being generous. I feel like it's closer to like 90 to 95% of what we see online. We don't really need. How do we feel about the new camera? I just got it. I hope you guys like it. I think we hit 5,000 subscribers, and that was my goal in order to buy a new camera. So I am just so thankful for everybody being here. So if there's anything specific you want to see from me in the future, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!